Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television. We're coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. As part of efforts to expand its footprint in the broadcast media industry, Global Television will officially launch on DSTV channel 365 starting from 9 a.m. tomorrow, 18th July 2024. This landmark achievement follows consistent efforts by the management of Global Television to broaden its reach and deepen media participation in national development and global affairs. Global Television is a 24-hour news and current affairs channel broadcasting from the capital of Nigeria, Abuja. Meanwhile, the management of Global Television has paid a courtesy visit to the Nigerian Television Authority as part of efforts to establish collaboration. Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Global Television, Dr. Ibrahim Biu, stated his commitment to contributing to the peace and development of Nigeria through the media. Global Television brings you the report. The Managing Director of Global Television, Ibrahim Biu, paid a courtesy visit to the Director General of the Nigerian Television Authority at the NTA headquarters in Abuja. The visit aimed to foster stronger ties between the two media organizations, explore potential areas of collaboration, professional assistance, and to tap from the wealth of experience of the NTA.
We are courtesy call to NTA, knowing fully that NTA is the epicenter of broadcasting industry, not only in Nigeria but in Africa.
Thank you very much.
So we feel that we need to have a touch with you as a big brother to advise us in the industry, to see the area of cooperation, to see the area of support, and to see how we can move on together.
In response, the Director General, NTA, Salihu Abdulhamid Dembos, represented by the Managing Director News, Ayodele Adewuyi, assured Global Television of its support and cooperation in areas they deem fit. Describing Global Television as one to be reckoned with, Ayodele urged the management not to hesitate in contacting NTA for assistance.
This is a good tidings for the broadcast world in Nigeria, and I want to believe that with your dedication, commitment, and with the help of Almighty Allah, we succeed. And Global Television will be one to be reckoned with in the media space. Please, feel free to contact us anytime. Areas that you may not have access to, that we will have access to. Areas I think we'll be able to cooperate, exchange content, so that for the benefit of the populace generally.
Global Television, a news and current affairs station, has finalized plans to start their DSTV streaming service on channel 365 and all multi-choice platforms from Thursday, 18th July 2024. Global Television, a news and current affairs station, has finalized plans to start their streaming service on DSTV channel 365 and all multi-choice platforms from Thursday, 18th July 2024. For Global, the Group Executive Officer of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Mele Kyari, says President Bola Tinubu has given marching orders to the Chief of Defense Staff, General Christopher Musa, to curb all theft and vandalism in the Niger Delta region within the shortest possible time. According to him, the menace has become a national issue that needs to be surmounted to boost oil production in the country. Speaking to journalists at the Defense Headquarters in Abuja following a meeting of all security and intelligence agency heads convened by the Chief of Defense Staff, Kyari stated that achieving the desired economic stability will be impossible without curbing oil theft and other crimes in the Niger Delta region. The Chartered Institute of Taxation of Nigeria has welcomed the Supreme Court verdict affirming the financial autonomy of local governments in Nigeria. The institute lauded the verdict in a statement signed by its acting registrar and chief executive, Afolake Osho, noting that the ruling of the Apex Court will drive improved governance and development at the grassroots level. The institute says it believes the judgment will promote fiscal federalism and true autonomy at the subnational level, thereby enhancing delivery of democratic dividends to the populace. A High Court of the Federal Capital Territory in Maitama has refused an application by the former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, to be granted permission to travel to the United Kingdom for a checkup. Emefiele is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission before an amended 20-count charge bordering on procurement fraud, obtaining by pretense and forgery while he held sway as governor of the Apex Bank. At the resumed hearing on the application for medical leave, the trial judge, Justice Hamza Muazu, held that Emefiele failed to supply sufficient reasons to show that the medical trip was essential and unavoidable. The Kogi State Independent Electoral Commission has fixed 19th October as the date for local government election across the state. This followed the Supreme Court's judgment of last week that declared the caretaker committee running the affairs of local government areas in the country illegal. Subsequently, the federal government says the allocation to these local government areas without elected officials will be withheld as the Joint Allocation Account Committee is no longer recognized under the law. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced a farewell gift of 100,000 naira for each corps member departing the camp and a sum of 100 million naira for the NYSC support staff. This pledge was made during his address as the special guest of honor at the NYSC passing out parade and closing ceremony for the 2024 Batch B/1 corps members held at the NYSC orientation camp in Yano Ikpaja. Governor Sanwo-Olu also announced a 5 billion naira pledge towards the construction of a permanent site for the National Youth Service Corps orientation camp in the state. Kano State House of Assembly has passed a bill into law for the establishment of second-class emirates in the state. It had been reported that the House took the first reading of the bill before embarking on recess, which they resumed. After the second and third reading of the bill, the Deputy Speaker, Mohammed Butu, moved for its adoption and passage during its plenary presided over by the Speaker, Jibrin Falgore. Labor unions in Ogun State have threatened industrial action over the failure of government to remit over 40 billion naira contributory pensions deducted from the workers' salaries in the last 15 years. The unions, which include the Trade Union Congress, Nigeria Labour Congress and Joint Negotiation Council, disclosed this in a letter written to Governor Dakwa Abiodun, alleging that despite setting up a committee on the contentious issue in October 2022, the state government has refused to make the report of this committee public. They claimed that they were forced to write to the governor because less than a year to July 1st, 2025, which is the effective date for the contributory pension scheme, according to the 2013 State Pension Reform Law amended in 2008. There is nothing on grounds to justify the sincerity of the government towards implementation of this pension scheme. The Joint Admissions and Matriculations Board, JAMB, says it has conducted the foreign component of the Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination in 8 countries. According to the board, the examinations were designed for foreign candidates seeking admissions into Nigerian tertiary institutions. The board noted that the examinations were held in London, United Kingdom, Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, among others. The federal government says the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway project will be timely completed, assuring that rainfalls will not affect the pace of work. The Federal Controller of Works, Lagos State, Olukorede Keshe, gave the assurance in an interview in Lagos. She added that the contractors have been instructed to work diligently to ensure the project met its design and completion deadline. You're watching the Midday News coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us on all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When Midday News returns, IMF cuts Nigeria's economic growth forecast to 3.1%. This and other stories coming right after this break. Just stay with us.
Are you a food lover? Do you care about your health and nutrition? Are you interested in exploring the diverse culinary traditions from around the world? Then look no further. Introducing Lunch Global on Global Television, a show that takes you on a delicious journey through the world of food, nutrition, and diet. So, whether you're a seasoned foodie, a health enthusiast, or simply curious about the world of food, Lunch Global has something for everyone. Tune in Mondays to Fridays and let your taste bud take you on a journey of flavor, culture, and discovery on Lunch Global. Bon appetit!
Many thanks for staying with us. Now, if you've just joined us, this is Global Television, bringing you live broadcast of the Midday News. On the foreign scene, President of Rwanda, Paul Kagame, has won 99.15% of the votes from the country's presidential election to secure a fourth term in office. Rwanda's Electoral Commission says only about 79% of ballots have been counted. Authorities said 9.5 million Rwandans are registered to vote. The country has a population of 14 million. Kagame's opponent, Frank Habineza, of the Democratic Green Party of Rwanda, and independent candidate Philip Mpayimana, each received less than 1% in the provisional results. The result is the same as 2017, when Kagame swooped nearly 99% of the vote. Final results are expected by July 27th, although they could be announced sooner. Police were out in force in the center of Kenya's capital after calls for more demonstrations against the embattled government of President William Ruto. Activists led by young Gen Z Kenyans launched peaceful rallies a month ago against deeply unpopular tax hikes, but they descended into deadly violence last month, prompting Ruto to drop the planned increases. Although street protests have eased since dozens of people were killed and Parliament stormed in late June, activists are still demanding the president's resignation. French Prime Minister Gabriel Attal is again set to resign his position, but continuing to lead a caretaker government amid political infighting and uncertainty. President Emmanuel Macron is expected to accept Attal's resignation following cabinet meeting, which comes after Macron allies suffered a significant defeat in a recent National Assembly election intended to clarify the political landscape. It was reported that July 8, 2024, Attal was set to resign, but French President Macron declined his resignation. Attal and his team will likely remain in their roles with restricted powers until the Paris Olympics, scheduled to begin on July 26. A powerful storm ripped through Afghanistan's eastern province, leaving nearly 40 people dead and at least 347 injured, according to the country's health ministry. Ministry spokesman Sharafat Zaman says the casualty figures are expected to rise as search and rescue efforts continue. The storm, which brought about heavy rain, battered Jalabad City, Sok Road, Batikot, and Besud districts. Local officials reported widespread damage to homes, with reports of an entire family of 11 buried under debris in one incident in the Sok Road district. Donald Trump has made a dramatic return to the public eye at the Republican National Convention held in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. This marked his first appearance since narrowly surviving an assassination attempt at a campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. The former president received a rapturous reception as he entered the FISA Forum sporting a thick bandage over his right ear where he was struck by a bullet. The Kremlin gave a cautious reaction to Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky's apparent invitation to a future peace summit, saying that Russia first needs to understand what Kyiv means before attending talks. Zelensky says Russia should be represented at a second summit on the Ukraine conflict following high-level talks last month in Switzerland that Moscow did not attend and heavily criticized. Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov, in the statement, said the first peace summit was not a peace summit. Perhaps it is necessary first to understand. The International Monetary Fund, IMF, has projected 3% growth for Nigeria in 2025. This is lower than 3.1% growth projection for Nigeria in 2024. IMF's latest World Economic Outlook indicates that it is higher than growth estimates of most emerging markets, while South Africa's growth in 2025 is projected at 1.2% from 0.9% this year. Brazil stands at 2.4% growth from 2.1% in 2024. The multilateral institution also noted that Mexico will grow by 1.6% in 2025 as against 2.2% in 2024. However, India's projection is higher than Nigeria's at 6.5% in 2025 from 7% this year. In business, the president of Dangote Group, Aliko Dangote, says his business's $30 billion revenue target by the end of 2025 will boost the naira. Dangote made this known during a tour of Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals and Dangote Fertilizer Limited by media executives, indicating a plan to attain independence from the Central Bank of Nigeria in foreign exchange sourcing. According to him, the expected significant inflow of forex into Nigeria through his businesses will automatically boost the value of our local currency and make the naira regain its value in the Committee of International Currencies worldwide. The Executive Secretary of the Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, Ogbonnaya Orji, has disclosed that the country lost $1.84 billion worth of petroleum products from refineries in 9 years. Orji stated this at the opening ceremony of the 2024 NATI board retreat and meeting in Lagos. He said 4.2 billion liters of petroleum products were lost from the refineries as a result of oil theft between 2009 and 2018. This was estimated at 140,000 barrels per day. Experts have expressed concerns that the decision of the federal government to throw open the nation's borders to allow food importation will affect private investments in the agriculture sector. The Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari, revealed at a press conference in Abuja that the 150-day duty-free import window for commodities such as maize, husked brown rice, wheat, and cowpeas is part of the implementation of the newly launched Presidential Accelerated Stabilization and Advancement Plan. The federal government has sought the assistance of the World Bank for $50 million to support state government in the installation of solar plants and infrastructure upgrades. The Minister of Finance and the Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Wale Edu, advanced conversations on the initiative when he met with a World Bank delegation in Abuja. The team was led by the country director for Nigeria, Ndiame Diop, while the special advisor to the president on energy, Molu Vehijen, was in attendance. In sports, President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusau, has dismissed reports that France women's national team coach, Hervé Renard, is being considered for the Super Eagles job by the Federation. The Eagles have been without a head coach since Finidi George resigned in June. Finidi quit his role as head coach of the 3-time African champions following the NFF announcement that they will appoint a foreign technical advisor for the team. England manager in Euro 2024, Gareth Southgate, has resigned from his role as head coach. Sports journalist Fabrizio Romano announced this via X. Southgate said, as a proud Englishman, it has been the honor of his life to play for England and to manage England. It has meant everything to him, and he says he will give it all. Colombian Football Federation President Ramon Jesurun has been released on bail following his arrest at Copa America final, according to videos published in Colombian media. The Miami-Dade County Police file indicated Jesurun had been arrested on charges of assault on officer and employee at Hard Rock Stadium. Security guards refused Jesurun access to the field with his son and other family members for the awards ceremony after Argentina defeated Colombia 1-0. A scuffle broke out and Jesurun and his son were arrested. The French Football Federation plans to complain to FIFA about alleged racist chants from members of Argentina's Copa America winning team. The chants were heard during a live video posted on social media by Chelsea and Argentina midfielder Enzo Fernandez from the team in the wake of the Copa victory over Colombia in Miami. Some players, including Fernandez, sing a chant that dates back to the 2022 World Cup final that Argentina won against France, that targets France's star striker Kylian Mbappe and includes alleged homophobic insults. And that's it on the Midday News, and it came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I'm Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.